Alright, I got all 4 of them drilled out, but they've all got burrs on the backside. So we're going to handy dandy your card burr removal tool here. Oh boy. I'm going to do this one-handed. I wonder, I said this to myself out loud. Foot. Just like that. Can use my knee to kind of squeeze it in there. Come on, get in there. Ah. Come on. Oh, you know you. Oh, hold on. You're going to have to. Look, you sit there. Sit there and watch the action. Why don't you want to go on there? You should. You've been on there before. There you go. All right, there we go. We're in business now. Business. B-I-D-N-E-S. Business. All right. I don't know how we're going to do this. And I'm fumbling around one-handed and stuff. Maybe I should get the 3-legged stool over here. 3-legged camera holder. Ah, that leg wants to fly. All right. I'll be back. Hold on a second. All right. I got you up on the 3-legged camera holder thing. Anywho, so we'll just oh, that's no bueno. That could have hurt me and stuff. Huh. If it does it again, I'm getting a new disc. Maybe I should get a new disc now. I don't know. Time. Yeah. So anyway, I'm just gonna buzz all these off. Anyway, I'll be back. All right, I got ready to put the manifold back on, and when I turned it over, I realized, well, those gasket surfaces are nowhere near. They're still old gasket. This one's probably the worst. See that manifold gasket stuck to them. I've kind of ruined the disc on that with a gig. I've got some more. These are Scotch-Brite pads. I don't know if they'll do any better, but I'm going to get a scraper of some kind and try and get the worst chunks off, and then we will work this down. I really hope this thing is flat, because it sucks to try to use this to make the heads flat if this isn't flat. So anyway, I'm going to clean this up and we'll go from there. All right, got the manifold on. I had bought, when I ordered the studs, I got them like another 1/4 inch longer than the originals. But the originals, because of the interference thread on the other end, I'm not sticking out any further than basically I was, except for back there. Anyway, I got these, they're not torqued, they're tight, just to pull things together. I did take a big thumper here, and I used the wooden end to pound against the heads to kind of loosen them up, maybe hopefully get them to shift, whatever. Check the torque on the tightness on the nuts. It all seems to be good. I think I'm gonna let this sit overnight and settle, and then we'll torque the head nuts down. I gotta find my diagram that shows the order we torque them. Seems like we start here in the middle and work our way out here and here and here, whatever. Find that and get that figured out. Yeah, we'll just, man, I don't know if I'm gonna make the Rushville show or not with her, but we're gonna try. She might be not all as cleaned up and painted as I'd like for her to be, but maybe we'll get her together and get her running. But that's a huge step, getting these made. There's part of me wants to, once we get these torqued down, I got to take this back off. When I take this back off, there's a part of me wants to take these and hit them with like high temp flat black barbecue paint, just to kind of protect them sort of from rusting away like the originals. I don't know. And the intake, definitely it's painted black. I actually think it's painted with rust reformer, so it needs a coat of brown so that it'll match. At some point I ought to get the carburetor, get it sandblasted and cleaned up and painted again, fan blades. Part of me wants to look into, I got to find a good auto electrical repair place to look at the generator, because I don't think it's working right. I think I don't know. Or I just go to the NAPA store and get a 12SI, 10SI, whatever the one wire alternator is, and we just put an alternator on it and change it from positive ground to negative ground and just make it work. I'm really kind of leaning towards that. Yeah, I'm going to call this one for tonight, because I got other projects I got to work on. I got two pork shoulders in the refrigerator I got to get out and get them wrapped get them rubbed and wrapped for a big cook on Saturday. I'll be cooking all day Saturday. So there'll be more. It's Thursday night tonight. There'll be a lot more probably on Saturday while the pork's cooking. I'll be working on this, trying to get heads torqued, manifolds torqued. Well, heads torqued. I'm gonna have to paint the manifold and stuff before I torque the heads, or torque the manifold. We may torque the manifold or the heads tomorrow night, which means get the heads torqued and pull the manifold off, get a coat of paint on the intake and stuff, get some barbecue paint on the blocks, clamp blocks. Yeah, and then we'll just go from there. There's a whole lot over here that needs probably some more cleaning in behind the carburetor, where the carburetor will be. That'll need to be cleaned. There's just how much do you clean and paint while you're doing it without doing a full restoration? And at some point, like that goes up there, I got to get the rest of the bolts in here. See, that ought to be like, that needs some magic elixir to knock the rust or the grease and stuff off. I still got a lot of cleaning to do. That's where I'm getting at. It's not going to be a full restoration at all. We're just going to clean and paint what we can, at least on the motor and stuff we worked on. Yeah. Anyway, rambling on, making a short story long for no reason. I'll be back.